welcome back to Chatting with Sonya and Friends. And before we went to a commercial break, we were just talking about different types of mental wellness, if you will. And Brandon, I remember you created this video around, well, it wasn't really mental wellness, if you will, kind of like grief and loss. And you brought, we do have a video clip for that. Brandon, tell us a little bit about this video before we take a look.
Yeah, the video it's a moody type of vibe video where, and it really stemmed from grief. I had just lost my sister to cancer. And I was just driving around, and I write poetry from time to time, and that was actually something that I wrote down at the pier while I was sitting down there. And I just called Caesar Westbrook is the videographer. He's the guy for the video who did a wonderful job, as you'll see in a moment. I called him with the idea, and he said, "Let's get this recorded and post it out there. Somebody's probably going to want to hear it and probably need to hear it." And so that's really the essence and the foundation behind the video.
Okay, and for those of you who are probably wondering like what the video is, we're going to air that and take a look and. Just take a look. It's really, really powerful. So.
We have to understand something about pain. And that pain is inevitable. At some point, we are all going to feel it. Whether it's physically, emotionally, or spiritually. Life isn't about avoiding pain. It's about learning what to do with it when it hits you. How are you going to learn from it? Grow from it. Use it to your advantage to be great and do great things.
Wow, that was powerful. And so, wow, that was something. So describe your mood. I mean, I know you said you were grieving. So did you just say, I need to go for a ride and clear my thoughts? What were your thoughts? What were you thinking?
You know, driving around town and at nighttime is just really relaxing for me. But I was just thinking about life in general, and you know where I was at, the people I've lost, and really how we need to turn pain. That pain, no matter where, as you saw in the video, pain. I said pain is inevitable. Like, it's going to happen. We can't necessarily dodge it. We just have to learn what to do with it when it hits us. And so that's really been my life. It's been about taking struggle and taking pain and making the best out of it, because that's all that we can do, and that you're not alone in this. We're all going through something. We all go through things.
We do.
But there is light at the end of the tunnel, and that's why we encourage getting help. That's why we encourage expressing yourself, whether it's through art, whether it's through your job, whatever, talking to somebody. It's just important that people put this stuff out there to let people know that, hey, it's okay to be a little bit vulnerable sometimes.
And Shannon, I wanted to ask you too, do you see a lot of females, Black women, coming for therapy? Because life is hard.
It is hard.
It's really hard.
And you know, we're dealing with experiences as a woman, and then you got the Black woman situation on top of that.
Racism.
It can definitely, racism, discrimination, like, it's a lot.
It's
you know, so I have seen Black and brown women seek therapy. In my current position, I do work primarily with males, but there definitely are females who are seeking treatment, or even just like, if they don't want ongoing treatment, they just want to know somebody is there to talk them through their crisis situation or just mental health situation in general. I've definitely seen that, and specifically, they are seeking somebody who outwardly represents them. I've found that I've had more people approach me to see if, you know, I could be their therapist, because they know that I'm a therapist and they can see my characteristics externally. So I think there's just some comfort and some representation there that you're just seeking. You think you'll feel more seen in therapy.
And so what about the trust factor? We all know, you know, Black and brown communities, we have that trust issue. And so when you seek out therapy, obviously you want to be very vulnerable and truthful and upfront. So do you find people not reaching out because they don't trust a therapist, because they want to tell you deep, dark, personal things, or, you know, issues that's really bothering them? So how do you convince them to trust not just the process, but you all as clinicians?
One thing I like to do is to look at therapy like we're an unbiased party. We don't know you. So I can't bring up, well, you know, back in the day you used to do this, this, and that, or anything. I'm just taking you as you are when you walk into my office, really as a stranger, you know? And trust building, rapport building is so important in the therapeutic experience, because if you want your client, patient to open up genuinely and honestly so you can help their real problems, you gotta have that trust there in the beginning. So part of that, I might share a little bit about myself professionally, respectfully, and allow them to share as well, kind of that give and take of information sharing about each other, and just trying to create that safe space for them emotionally and physically as well.
And I'm sure you probably mimic that as well.
Yeah,
Brandon.
absolutely. And you know, vulnerability is a universal fear in general. And then when you break it down culturally, you know, it hits different in different atmospheres and in different environments. And like Shannon was saying, an important part of therapy is rapport and the relationship that you build. And so creating that comfort space, because as I always say, we got to be comfortable with being uncomfortable. There's no really easy way around talking about some of these deep, dark things that goes on within ourselves and in our personal life. So we have to establish that trust and that understanding that this is a process. And really, I always view therapy as an art form. There's an art to it, you know, and you don't have to rush it. It needs to take time and patience, and you grow. And we're there just as guides, as clinicians. You know, we don't have a magic wand to make all the problems go away. We're simply there as a guide. The real work always comes after the session and what you're doing to improve your overall well-being.
I like that, and because there is always has been a trust factor in the Black and brown communities, and we are aware of that. So even with the HIPAA law as well, it should make people feel a little bit more comfortable because of the city is so small, and then everybody thinks everyone knows everyone, which is really not the case.
No,
like, I don't know everybody.
No, it's not the case.
And so with the HIPAA law, that would kind of, you know, just help people feel a little bit more comfortable.